Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Dutzman. I am the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and I am here to do an unboxing for you. Specifically, I'm here to do two unboxings. We were graciously given by the company My Arcade two items that I wanted to take a look at. One being the My Arcade Super Gamepad. It's probably, I don't know if it's coming up for you backwards. This is a wireless controller with turbo feature for the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. So that is the Super Gamepad. Now you can tell that this was sent to us by a PR company and not just something that I bought and that I said they gave it to us, because they called us the wrong name. They called us Engaged Family Gamer. The handwriting is lovely though. What are you going to do? That's what happens when you're not the biggest website on earth. So that's the Super Gamepad. I'm actually really excited to see this. It's at Walmart right now. Retails for about $20. So we're going to open this up and take a look and see what it feels like. I really want to know how the buttons feel and how it feels in my hand. So we're going to take a look at that, because that's obviously super important when it comes to Super Nintendo controllers. And then the other thing they sent us is this sick little buddy right here, the Microplayer Retro Arcade Pac-Man. So this is supposed to be, what it purports to be is a little mini baby arcade machine that plays Pac-Man. And so it is officially licensed. And it's pretty cool, actually, from what I can see here. So we're going to open it up and take a look at it. One of the things that I really dig about it, just from reading the box, is that it runs off batteries or a micro USB charging cable. Now, it doesn't include a micro USB charging cable. Isn't this adorable? It doesn't include a micro USB charging cable, but the reality is just about every gamer on Earth already has one, so I don't really think that that's necessarily a big deal. Really, for me, I just want to kind of see how the buttons work. The good news is with Pac-Man, there's really only directional. So it's just a matter of, does the joystick work? My daughter is super stoked to play this, so it is very likely that we will, that once this is done being opened and used, that she will own this device. But we'll see. Maybe this will be her first ever quote-unquote portable game console. So let's look at the Super Gamepad first. So for those of you joining late, we're going to take a look at this Super Gamepad. So for anybody that has an NES Classic or an SNES Classic, especially if you have an NES Classic, you know that the cords for that are like this big. This is wireless, and it says that it works at a pretty decent range. I honestly have no idea. And I'm not going to be able to test this because it does require batteries. Also, I'm not really testing it because I don't have anything hooked up. But we're going to do, a review of the product and talk about it later, because I am very excited to have a wireless option for playing with my SNES Classic, because I have Final Fantasy VI and Earthbound to beat. And yeah, so I got a lot of games on that system I have to beat. So I'm just opening it up right now. Oops, totally ripped the box.
You want scissors?
No, I'm good. Thanks. I have a producer over here. Okay, so I totally ripped the box. That was not my intention. I was kind of hoping to keep it together. Well, what are you going to do? For those of you paying attention, if you do end up buying this, if you're trying to make it a gift, be careful if you try to open it to make sure it works or something before you give it away. This totally is super delicate. I'm hoping the controller itself is more sturdy. So it comes with a nice big user guide, which is kind of terrifying considering it's just a controller, but it does tell us how to put batteries in it, because it is battery operated. It runs off AAA batteries, and it's in a million different languages, so that's probably why the game book is so long. Good, I was a little worried. Okay, and this little plastic doohickey pops off. Okay, now we get the control. Well, first off, there is a little dongle. So this is with the same kind of jack that you use on the Wii or, for the NES and SNES Classic. So it'll plug into those. It is not USB, so it doesn't work that way. Okay, so my first concern with this is this controller is super light. Also, it is smaller Can you go, Evan, can you get me an SNES Classic controller? Thank you.
I was doing that
Yeah.
and making sure that we don't lose dongle.
Yeah, well, we don't want to lose the dongle. So my gut instinct is that it is smaller. Like you can see my hands. I mean, I don't have super big hands. You can see that I'm already a little crowded on it. It does. I don't know why, but it has a ZR trigger.
What?
I don't know why does it have. I don't know why it has a ZR trigger, but let's see.
Because it's a pro controller?
I don't know. This is weird, but okay. So this is okay. I need that dongle back.
Now, I want to make sure you don't lose it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay.
So this is the size of the regular controller. Everybody say hello to Evan. He wasn't supposed to guest star in this video, but what are you going to do? So this is a regular SNES Classic controller. This is the My Arcade Turbo Super Gamepad thing. So is it smaller? Yes, slightly. Not a huge amount. Not as small as I thought it would be. It's probably, actually, you know what? Now that I see it, stack it up this way, it's about, I mean, I'd say probably about an inch and a half narrower, which is, considering the Super Nintendo controller is not that big in the first place. That says something. So my hands are a little crowded on this, but I mean, I think it'll still work. I mean, I don't think it's uncomfortable. One thing I do really like is the buttons. Okay, so this is obviously super loud. You can take this back, Mr. Producer Man. Thank you. And the buttons actually feel really great. Now, we're going to have to test this out in actual gameplay, but the buttons actually feel really great. They have a nice give to them. Anybody who's played with a Super Nintendo controller knows that one of the real reasons you play with a Super Nintendo controller, one of the real strengths to that is, you know, the buttons feel great. And they've got like that real solid tactile feel to them. This does have that. It even makes a little noise, which is good. Kind of like Super Nintendo controllers did. I'm a little weirded out by the double triggers. I have no idea what this is. Not even a little, because the SNES, obviously, it only had the L and the R. No. Hey, how about not distracting me while I'm working? All right, so let's see. Does it tell us what it is? All right, it has a programmable turbo feature. That's kind of neat. It does have a home button, which is kind of nice. So so you know, right in the center of the controller is the home button, so you can use that to access the home features on the SNES Classic and then the NES Classic. That is a big deal with a lot of wireless controllers, or really with the regular controllers themselves. You have to get up and mess with the actual console itself. What I've actually been doing is encouraging people to use a super long HDMI cable so that the controller is kind of right there and the console is right there. So it's light. Let's see here. How do you open it, though? Okay, so not that bad. You know, it runs off 2 AAA batteries. Now, they say on the back of the box, 27 hours of playtime on 2 AAA batteries. I'm not entirely convinced that that's correct, but what are you going to do? But it does have a port in here for a micro USB, so I'm questioning whether or not this is something that actually can be charged. So I'm going to dive into this big old book, and let's see what we can find out. All right, I don't want to read it in French or Spanish. Here we go, English. Oh, all right. Materials needed, not included. 2 AAA batteries or a micro USB cable. The question is, does it just power off of the micro USB cable, or does it charge? So I'm just looking. Don't mind me, folks. This is great radio, right? Me reading an instruction manual. Let's see here. So, you know what it doesn't say? We'll have to take a look at it. And so in our testing, we will find out, does this, it doesn't look like it has a battery internally. So it looks like it's probably one of those things where you could theoretically plug it in and it would work if you didn't want to use batteries. But, you know, whatever. If you really do get that many hours off of AAA batteries, that's really not that bad. Like I said, this retails for about $20. I saw it at Walmart the other day. And, you know, then they actually reached out to me that same day. Yeah, that's my thought too, Kate. But we'll find out. I'm going to try it. So, yeah, I mean, this is the My Arcade Super Gamepad. I do like the fact that it works for both the NES and the SNES Classic, even though it looks like just a regular old SNES controller. That's convenient. I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't have worked, but it's nice for that. The dongle's nice and solid. Doesn't look like it's going to break right away. I will say this does feel light, but it doesn't feel hollow. You know, I kind of dig this. I am excited to use it, especially for the SNES, where most of the games that I want to play are role-playing games. So, you know, nice and light. So that's this thing. So let's put the Super Gamepad away. I broke the box for those of you joining late, so I can't put it back in. So next, let's look at this little sucker here. It is the Microplayer Retro Arcade that they sent over to us. And let's open this up. This is, my daughter is very excited about this. If I was smart, I would have not shown it to her. I would have unboxed it, and then I would have given it to her for Christmas if I was that smart. But I'm not. I showed it to her, and she immediately loved it. And she is super hyped to play it. In fact, I got this a couple of days ago and waited to unbox it because I wanted to do it on Monday night. And she was very angry that I did not do it yesterday because she really wanted to play this thing. So took off the tape. I have a feeling I'm going to break this box too because that's my luck. The packaging doesn't really feel excessive. All right, here we go. So we got a nice little, another big old book. This feels a little excessive. But again, it's in like 18 different languages. Just take the plastic off. All right. So wow, that really was not a lot of packaging for this thing. So there's the box. Okay. So here is our little device. Now this one does actually, I believe it says that it charges off the micro USB. Oh, you know, yeah, it says, you know what, now that I think about it, I think you can probably just plug it in. Probably doesn't have an internal battery. So this, oh, it does. It runs off of AA. This runs off of AA batteries. The other one is AAA. So this is powered by 4 AA batteries. There are 4 AA batteries that your mom brought home that I thought were not the right ones. Go get them for me.
Where are they?
I think they're in the dining room. So it's got a little cover to the screen. So yeah, did you find him?
Yeah, they're in the kitchen.
All right, give me, and then get out of my camera.
I will just here right here.
Why are you only wearing one sock?
I don't know.
Kids these days. All right, so we got some batteries. So we can actually test this out right here, right now. The question for this one is, you know, so it's reasonably solid. You know, I'm a fan. And it even has a headphone jack for those folks that are really which means this thing could be loud, I bet.
Is it backlit?
We don't know. We're about to find out because I'm turning it on in just a few seconds. It does not have HDMI out, so I can't stream it. Although that would be pretty awesome. I guess my real question is, I just don't know how the, you know what, now that I feel it, the joystick, it is 4-directional. Actually, no, it's 8-directional, but this is Pac-Man, so it really doesn't need to be all that fancy. Let's dive in, shall we? How do you turn it on? Oh, the power button is the arcade thing. Here we go. Can you see? All right, so does it work? So there's a start button. Okay, this is kind of rad. Okay, guys, it works.
Turn around.
I don't know if you can. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it off. This thing is freaking cool. They told me that it was a little tiny itty bitty baby Pac-Man machine, and they were not lying in any way. It is a little itty bitty Pac-Man machine. I think, you know, I really do like the colors. It is solid. I think this thing could take a couple of bumps, especially if you have younger kids that might knock it off of a shelf. I don't know that I would hand it to a younger kid, just because I think the joystick itself might be a little bit delicate. But yeah, this is exactly what they told me it was going to be, which is impressive, because when I saw these initially, I thought this was going to be kind of cheap, right? Like I thought it was going to be kind of broke, you know, easily broken, hollow, not a lot, you know, not a lot to it, and it's surprisingly solid. That is a surprisingly like look at this, like that's a decent hard to break power button, because that's my big concern with stuff like these, is that they'll just be kind of throwaways. So yeah, this is they have a bunch of these that are arcade cabinets. This one, I think they have a Galaga. There's a bunch of.
They have a Street Fighter one.
No, they don't have a Street Fighter one. Stop it. So
Awesome.
I thought you said you weren't going to be in this video. So yeah, listen, folks. This is kind of cool. It is exactly what I was, what they told me it would be. Let me take a look at the price, because that's one thing that I did not check. Onto the internet. And here we go. So, it is. So, you know, it's not on Amazon. It doesn't say what it is. Oh, here we go. Maybe they have another one. Looks like these actually aren't super cheap. Looks like they're in the $20 to $30 range. Looks like they. So, all right. So these are not cheap. However, for what they are, especially if you have a lot of nostalgia for, say, Pac-Man or something like that, this will look good on a shelf, because it really does look good in a display case as a collector's item, and it does actually play the game. So to me, this feels like the Funko Pop of arcade cabinets. It's probably a little overpriced for what it is, because it is just a Pac-Man cabinet, but it looks really nice for what it is. And, you know, I haven't looked at the guts on this, but I would suspect that it would be, you know, fairly easy to customize if you really felt like the need to. One thing I do really like, and this is a relatively, you know, this is a nice touch. If you look on the bottom here, these strips are anti-strip. They're like a foam, or not a foam, but they're like a rubber backing, kind of like a playmat. So this thing doesn't just slide around on your table. Again, this will make it look really nice in a shelf. So that is the My Arcade Retro Player Pac-Man machine. So thank you very much to the My Arcade PR team for sending these over to us. We will certainly make use of them, and there will be some write-ups on the site where we actually play it. Hopefully I'll get a video tomorrow of our little one playing this game, because she's very excited about Pac-Man. Very, very, very excited about Pac-Man. If we do that, we'll put that up on the Instagram channel. You can get there by going to Instagram.com/EngageFamilyGaming. We'll definitely get some videos and pictures up there. So yeah, those are our unboxings. We got the Retro Player, and we got the Super Gamepad. So thank you very much, My Arcade. We really appreciate you sending these goodies over to us. If these sparked your interest, definitely keep your eye out for more coverage on these, probably discussing them on a podcast or something like that. But this is pretty cheap, 20 bucks already. I can tell this is going to be kind of a winner. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For those of you watching, if you haven't listened yet, Remember, I have a new podcast. It's called the EFG Daily Commute. And that's one topic by me every day. The podcast is less than a half hour, and I always talk about something different. Today, I talked about some very crazy ideas for some Smash characters. Now that the DLC is starting to roll out. So if you're curious what I have to say, I would definitely recommend that you listen to that podcast. So until tomorrow, I do hope you guys have a wonderful day. And until then, don't forget to get your family game on. We'll see you soon. Bye.